Hello everyone, in this video we're just going to be working out the second example of features of rational functions, and we are figuring out the entirety of the features of the rational functions. Well, not in behavior, but anyway, so let's get started. We're going to start out with the horizontal asymptote. And since we do have x squared on the top and the bottom, since those are equal, we are going to use the ratio of the leading coefficients. So the number that's in front of x squared is 1. That means that our horizontal asymptote is at y equals 1/4. Okay, so let's move on to our vertical asymptotes and wholes, and we are going to have to get to those by factoring. So let's go ahead and factor the numerator. What two factors of 4 add to give us -5? Factors of 4 are 1 and 4, so let's do -1 and -4. And since there was a 1 in the front, we can take our little trick, x minus 1, x minus 4. Okay, let's look at the denominator. First thing I notice is that these numbers are all divisible by 4, so I'm going to pull out a 4. -12 divided by 4 is -3. -16 divided by 4 is -4. Now we have a normal factoring in the middle. So let's rewrite. We want two factors of -4 that add to give us -3. So we're still going to be using 1 and 4, but I want a negative, so I'm going to put the negative on the -4. So since there was a 1 in the front right here, we can skip to our factored form. Don't forget about the 4 that we had left out in the front. X minus 4, x plus 1. Okay, now that we're here, you will notice that there is some canceling out that can go on here. And this is happening because we have x minus 4 in the numerator and the denominator. So let's go ahead and write out our simplified form. X minus 1 divided by 4 times x plus 1. Okay, now we know that there was a whole that was happening at x equals 4 because we're looking at the opposite of that number there. So we're going to take 4 and we're going to plug it back into this form. 4 minus 1 divided by 4 times 4 plus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 times 5 is 20. So this is the y value of our whole. Okay, so let's come over here. Our whole is happening at 4, 3/20. Now we're going to look at our vertical asymptotes. We're going to see what is left over in the denominator. And what's left over in the denominator is 4 x plus 1. Now we have two separate factors. One of the factors is 4, and the other factor is x plus 1. 4 can never be equal to 0, so we don't need to worry about that. So we're only going to look at the x plus 1, and what makes that 0 is x equals -1. The next thing that we're going to look at is the x-intercept. And the x-intercept is where the numerator is equal to 0. And I'm just going to use the simplified. You could use this, but you actually get an extraneous answer. So let's use the simplified. X minus 1 equals 0. So you'd add 1 to both sides, and we get that x equals 1. Okay, and then for the y-intercept, we're going to plug in x equals 0. So I'm going to plug it into my simplified form. We're going to have 0 minus 1 over 4 times 0 plus 1. 0 minus 1 is -1. 0 plus 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. So we are going to get the y-intercept is at -1/4. And we have some little work bubbles going on here. Okay, so let's go check our answers in Desmos. See if we got all of these things right. Going to the old trusty Desmos. So wise. Okay, so here we are. X squared minus 5x plus 4. All divided by 4x squared minus 12x minus 16. Okay, we had a horizontal asymptote at y equals 1/4. And that does fill in that gap there, so that's good. Then we also have a vertical asymptote at x equals 1. X equals -1. That would not have been correct. You can see -1. Okay, the next thing that we have is a hole at 4 and then 3 over 20. So let's go to 4 and make sure that there is a hole there. And you can see that it is undefined at 4. So let's just double check that the y value of our hole is correct. 4 and 3 over 20. And you can see that that point there does line up exactly where our hole was. So we did get that y value correct. Okay, we also want to check the x-intercept. That's where it crosses the x-axis. That is happening at 1, so x equals 1. And then our y-intercept should be happening at negative 1/4, which is negative 2.5. So just looking, these are all the values that we just typed in, and they're all correct because we just typed them into Desmos. So hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.